thought it was straight. And, it ended up being a good amount. It might have even been straight. Me and my buddy thought it was a little under. So we ended up walking up to this sand pit spot near the carnival and chilling out, posting up at this great view. We had a great view. I wish I had a picture from it. I remember the sunset was going. It was great. It was just a great, view experience. It was great. So we sit down. I think we were on this construction area. There was nobody there, obviously. And we sit down, and I'm like, all right, bro, so here's the blunt wraps. Roll us the blunts. And he's just like, wait a minute, dude. I can't roll a blunt. I thought you were going to roll it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I don't even know how to roll a joint. Like, what am I supposed to do here? And he's just like, dude, just lick it. We'll do it. We'll figure it out. And we ended up rolling these 2 really shitty blunts, okay? My buddies didn't even work out. I had to re-roll his a little bit. And it was probably the loosest, just horrible thing I've ever seen in my entire life. If you guys seen him, you probably are like, Cody, you don't know weed. Just get the fuck out of here. That is just, oh my gosh. But we ended up, the loosely rolled one that I actually ended up rolling, we actually ended up getting some pretty hefty hits off of it. My friend was having a bunch of issues, and I was like, dude, just do it this way. And I got this huge hit, and he's like, what the fuck? How did you do it? And it was so funny, but so we ended up getting super baked. And I believe the weed was blueberry kush, by the way, and we had blueberry or grape blunt wraps, I believe. I think it were blueberry, actually. It was really, really good. So we ended up going back to this carnival, and I remember stealing tickets from this kid I knew. This little 8-year-old. I took his tickets, so we went on this ride, and I'm gonna say that again because I got the voice crack going on. So we get on this ride, and it's this ride that there's a chain across your chest, and it kind of spins you in a momentum. So it spins you, and at the same time, the whole ride is spinning. So it's like a double spin almost. It really feels crazy. It's like a crazy, just like a spinning experience. And we were so high. I remember we were so baked, and the ride only lasts I think a minute and a half. And I shit you not, I thought I was on that ride for a half an hour, just seeing all the carnival lights in the sky, just like a fader almost effect. And I was just having the time of my life. It was honestly really, really amazing. So that was Carnival Blunts. That obviously a more detailed story in the description if you guys want to hear that. I'm trying to just go over these briefly and tell some describe them as much as I can. So the next story is first time smoking weed in a car, and that was suggested by Fletch Dog the Great. My first time smoking weed in the car actually took place my freshman year, I believe, and this was actually one of the times where one of my good friends in real life actually got her license for the first day, which was kind of funny because you're not supposed to drive with other people for a year, but it doesn't matter. No, it does matter, dude. Follow the laws, especially when it comes to cars and all that jazz. Don't smoke weed while you're driving. Smoke weed. Park and spark. Don't, drive under the influence. But I'm not going to be that guy. But anyways, guys, so we get into her car after school. We're waiting all day. She's so hyped. She's super, super hyped. And we ended up, I had weed back at my house, so we actually ended up driving over to my house. And so I get my weed, and we decide on the spot we're going to. We're going up to this mountain spot, we like to call it. And that was actually my first time being up there. She actually ended up backing up into some rocks, and everybody was freaking out because we were, I think we lit a joint in the car, and we were hotboxing it. I was doing smoke rings. I remember it was pretty cool. But in the midst of that, we were backing up trying to park at this mountain spot, and she actually ended up scraping up against some rocks, and we thought the car was damaged. But everything actually ended up turning out fine. It was pretty cool. So we ended up going up to this mountain spot after we got out of the car, made sure the car wasn't damaged or anything, and we get up there, and this is where the bubbler comes into place. My friend pulls out this hammer bubbler, and I don't know if you guys know what that is. Do some Google images searches if you don't know what a hammer bubble is, but it was really, really cool and intricate. I think it was green and blue. It was just really, really cool, vibrant colors and everything. It was really, really, really cool. So we get up there, and I was already pretty fucking high. We had smoked the joint, and I think we were finishing off the last of my weed, and my buddy actually ended up pulling out a little bowl pack himself. So we were chiefing, and at that point, I was really, really, really gone, and we smoking the bubbler, and I remember this to this day. It was so fucking hilarious. It was so good. I was just like, was that the cops? And my friend was like, dude, we are in the middle of the woods. I remember that to this day. So we ended up, hotboxing the car and smoking weed and driving. It was really, really cool. But like I said, I wouldn't suggest, driving and smoking, things like that, because, that would be a bad person if I told you guys to do that. So, be responsible, all that jazz. So now that I got that out of the way, so let's do another life story. So this life story is the first time I ever ate an edible, and this was suggested by Brian Sebdra. I am sorry, I don't know how to say the last part of your name. I think it's Sabdra. Brian Sabdra. Okay. So the first time I ever ate edibles, this one actually got so many likes. I was so amazed with the amount of positive feedback I got in this video, and I just can't thank you guys enough for all of the, positive feedback you've given me on all of these commentaries. It's been so amazingly telling you all the life stories from the past, and I can't wait to tell you guys the ones from the future and the present. So let's get going. So the first time I ever ate an edible, I think I was actually a freshman in high school, and I got to school one morning, went across the street, like my daily routine, to go smoke a cigarette before school, and my buddy was actually over there. That was the notorious person for selling weed, things like that. Always had the weed goodies, things like that. So he actually ended up coming up to me, and he was just like, yo, man, you want to try an edible? And I'm like, oh, geez, I've never tried one before. So he pulls out this, I think he had like 2 left or something. There were chocolate truffles with weed in them, and he gave me one. It was pretty cool. He gave me a whole one, and usually an edible, you usually only need like half. He gave me the full one, and I actually left this out. I forgot to mention this before I even got to school. Me and my buddy actually ended up smoking like 2 1-gram joints before school, so I was so ridiculously high already. So I got to school, and then I had this edible, okay, and I started eating this edible, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know if this has weed in it. And he's like, dude, kind of like push it on the top, like the roof of your mouth. And I did it, and I don't know how to describe it, but kind of just like spread the chocolate out on the top of your mouth. That's not, you could just put that sentence into a bunch of different ways and make it into a joke, but so I did that, and I immediately tasted like strong weed, like amazing weed, and I'm like, damn, this is some good stuff, dude. Thank you so much. And after that, I believe me and my buddies went and smoked some more. I think we smoked like another like gram or something like that. I have no idea how we smoked so much weed. There was a bunch of people with weed that particular day, and I ended up going to school. It was such a bad environment to do that in. I was so fucking high in school, and I remember they used to give us breakfast in the special ed program I was in. And I've meaning to mention this in a couple of the videos. When I bring up the special ed program, the only reason I was in the special ed program is because I didn't like doing homework. I didn't like doing work. It really wasn't about the whole school work type of ordeal. I know it sounds like I was a fucking loser in school, but I really just didn't like doing work, and the workload was a little bit less in the special ed program. It wasn't like special ed. It was just like lower work, lower stress, things like that. It was pretty cool. But so they used to give us these like little cereal packets. I actually like stole like 4 of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch when you're only supposed to have 1, and I was sitting there like in the corner just like piling cereal in my mouth, like milk pouring all over the place. I was just so fucking high. And I remember this teacher, that one of the behavior people in there, one of the people that was like the teachers, came up to me, and me and her had a pretty good friendship. So she was like, Cody, you look a little funny today. And I immediately knew she was talking about how high I was. And I was like, yeah, I probably shouldn't be at school right now. And I think I actually ended up leaving. I don't remember what I did after that. But I think I had to leave. I was so high, guys. It was so ridiculous. I remember that day to this, like, it was so ridiculous. Edibles just give you this completely different high. It's just so like body high, just giggly, just out of it. It's just amazing, and I love it. So I have one more story to tell you guys. We're running at 49 minutes right now, so this might even go on for an hour, almost pretty close to an hour. So I would really appreciate it if you would drop that like button, add it to your favorites, and subscribe for more if you enjoyed the video at any point. So here we go. first time buying weed, which is actually, he said when you ate your weed, and that is actually from the story of first time buying weed, and that was suggested by James Bronson. And so this story takes place when I was in 8th grade. This was actually the weed that I had gotten the first time I'd smoked. Like I said, we gotten it a couple days previous, and I remember to this day that I bought it. I bought it at the school. It was so sketchy. So I bought it at the school, and I got it in this little treasure chest. It was just like, it was almost like something you'd see in like a fish tank or something, like one of those bubble things that opens up. And he packed like a bunch of weed in there, and I think I bought it for like $20. It was way over the amount I paid for it. It was really cool. So me and my buddy go downtown. It was just me and him. I was smelling it, and I remember the first time I ever smelled weed, I was like, wow, that is like the best smelling thing I've ever smelled in my life. Like, that is so, it smells so good. I was like addicted to the smell. It was amazing. And I remember we were chilling at this like band area, this like concert area of my town, sitting down, contemplating what we're going to do with it, whether or not we were going to go and get like a can or something so we could smoke it, or like get some rolling papers or something. And I was honestly, I think I was so sketched out, like from being high from when I got home, that he actually brought up the fact of eating it, and and you know, I'm not going to say this 100% because I actually did some research on this, and I guess you can get high if you eat it, but it's not nearly as good as if you smoke it, because the THC, or the THC actually has to be heated up to fully enter your bloodstream. So I believe your stomach just gets rid of most of it. Just the acidic levels just, you know, break it down in your stomach. But, you know, I could be wrong, could be right. I don't want to, you know, say something when I'm wrong, because, you know, I'll obviously look like a fucking dumbass. So me and my friend, he ate a little bit of it, and I'm like, all right, let me smell your breath. His breath smelled so strong like weed, and I was like, holy shit, that smells so good though. So I ended up eating a little bit. And me and my buddy, we literally had like placebo city or something. Like, we really thought we were high. We were laying down in the field, like just looking up at the sky. And I really thought that I was high for a second. And I honestly don't know if I was. I think I might have been, looking back on it, you know, like smoking weed now and how it feels and stuff, I might have been like 25% lifted, if that makes any sort of sense. You know, the stage of getting high is lifted, high, stoned, and then baked, or no, it goes baked, then stoned, and then, you know, burning out. So I think I was like, you know, 25% almost lifted. So it was like, I didn't really get anything, but it was pretty funny because I ended up eating it, and it was pretty funny. So this was this, you know, life story, stoner story finale, season finale. I'm not exactly sure of what I'm going to name the title. So I had so much fun telling you guys these stories, you know, when I actually made the commentaries and retelling them in this video. So much fun, and I really, really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really wanted to, you know, summarize all of the best life stories that I had to tell, in my opinion, you know, all that, into this one video. And I really hope you guys can, you know, enjoy this. I really, really thought it was a really cool idea, and I can't take credit for this. I need to put this in this video. I cannot take credit for this idea. I actually did see this idea on another channel. I thought it would be the coolest thing ever. So, like I said, I really hope you guys enjoyed. And if you did, leave me a comment in the comment section below. So look forward to stories in the near future. I still have a bunch of stories to tell from the past. I think I have like 5 or 6 thought of in this Google Docs, but I still have a bunch of them, guys. Don't get me wrong. And of course, I still got a couple stories to tell you guys for when I turn 18. So you guys stay hyped for that. And if you guys didn't already know, my birthday is in the first week of October, so we got a good distance away, but I know you guys can wait. So I will see you guys later. You guys stay high, stay lifted. Peace.
Enemy UAV is airborne. We've taken the lead. UAV recon standing by.